What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Tommy Zachary back here with Big Kriegs. Here at first episode, Kings of the Clubhouse. Previously, Talkin That Talk with Kiefer and Krieger. A little bit of an update, a facelift, some would say. Um, I'm Tommy Zachary or Kiefer. We got Big Kriegs.
Big Kriegs,
So things are going to be a little different this time around. 2 days a week, YouTube videos we're going to post Tuesdays and Fridays about noonish, one-ish, typically Eastern time. Don't want to do too many more than that. Maybe like Super Bowl, we might do a special Sunday episode, or something big
right?
happens with the
Special
Cubs or one
occasions.
of our football teams. Then it would be a little different. Um, but with our episodes short and sweet, probably 20, 30 minutes max. Just a couple talking points. Say how we feel. Ask your guys' opinion. Obviously, feedback from you guys is huge in the comments. Um, with that being said, though, let's hop right into it.
Yeah, hop into it. So we'll just talk right into kind of the biggest thing that's been going on, college football playoffs. It's the first actual 12-man playoffs. Obviously, we're today. We're recording this on Thursday, so the Notre Dame Georgia game just got over. I guess that most recently we'll talk about that. I mean, Notre Dame, honestly, they're my pick to win it all. I it kills me to say it because we have Notre Dame fans and I'm a Michigan fan myself, but I said it before the college football playoff started. I think they're the most well-rounded team. I know Ohio State's playing their dick off, but I just think Notre
Yeah,
Dame's.
I
I
got
think Notre
I got
Dame's the
Notre
team to beat right
Dame
now.
versus Ohio State in the finals. I think both of those teams are hot right now, and it's kind of reminded me of the MLB playoffs with the hot hand. Who's got the momentum going in? And I know you enjoyed Michigan beating Ohio State, but I think that's all the fuel they needed to make a run. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, it helped a lot that they had all that time off between the game and then they had the Big Ten championship to sit and watch, and like that's just more motivation for them. They lost to Oregon in the regular season. That's just more motivation for them. I mean, another big talking point is
Lost.
all
Yep.
the
0
teams
and
that
4.
had a bye lost. So, like, yeah, 0-4. So, like, is it now you're going to talk? It's the big talking points are going to be rust versus rest, and it's whether or not you know if you have the momentum, like you said, it's kind of like MLB. We're seeing it's the hot hand. I mean, are are you going to really want to risk to get the first round bye and then lose all that momentum? I mean, Oregon was rolling and I mean,
Fell on their face. Came
came
out.
out slow,
Well, that's the
awful,
thing
yeah,
too is
awful.
Ohio State didn't give either team they played room to breathe. They come out foot on the gas immediately. Well, I think they have 40 points total in the first quarters total combined.
And the thing is I just don't understand how they didn't do that against Michigan. And I think like the way that Michigan beat them, it just Ryan Day and Chip Kelly just
Yeah,
literally opened everything up. Everything's
I
wide
th-
open. Just go out
I
there and
think the
fucking sling
biggest
it. I
thing
think that's what it
was
is.
Michigan's a good football team, obviously better than what they looked at the beginning of the season. But I think Ohio State played down to their level, and Michigan outplayed them at that level.
I think Texas and
I think
Ohio
it'll be a
State is going
shootout.
to be a good
I
game,
hope it's
truthfully,
so.
but yeah, I think Ohio State's going to actually, like you said, I think they're the hottest team in the country,
Just a
but Notre Dame today
well-rounded
looked
unit.
really good. I mean, they let Georgia play around a little bit at the beginning, like in the third quarter, but Marcus Sherman coached his dick off. They're playing really well football. If they can, take the next week to
Yep.
really study Penn State, I think they really got a shot. And the thing is, Penn State, they're going into the semifinal game. They haven't played anybody. Their biggest win is what?
Yeah.
Who?
No,
Indiana?
no, Notre Dame played Indiana.
Did they play Indiana? No, they didn't even play Indiana this year. Who?
They
I,
don't
I
really
don't even
have
know
them.
who their
That
biggest win
was
would
a
be.
main argument against them
Yeah,
for the playoff. Um, Obviously,
but
Texas won a close one against Arizona State to put them into the semifinals. Was
that was a crazy game. Like that saved it. Truthfully, it was a classic game. Obviously, the other games are good,
That's
but
something
that
that we
game was a
needed.
classic.
And another thing too is I noticed my last comment about that is I'm tired of these high name sportscasters analysts complaining about the matchups. Like the 12 teams, you give more teams the opportunity to be a part of it, and not every game is going to be good. You have it's the same with every playoff. You have some series that are 4-0 and it's quick and like okay, maybe they shouldn't have made it. But then you
Yeah,
like not every game is going to be good. Not every matchup is going to be good. Some teams better up match up better against other teams. Like we saw it.
yeah,
And the
I
teams, the
absolutely understand.
fringe
I absolutely
teams,
agree.
look at what they've done.
But yeah, I mean, we'll move on from college football, but we can also just talk about real quick how
Yeah.
the SEC has just laid a dud in the entire bowl games, everything, and
Yes,
it's
it
just
is.
so
And
great
those
to see
three
being
three
from Big Ten
SEC
country.
schools with
So
3 losses, they deserve to be in. But look what happened. Week 18 NFL
yeah,
preview, final week of the regular season. Couple teams, actually only 3 teams in the AFC fighting for that last playoff spots, and then 2 teams fighting for the division and final playoff spot in the NFC. The Falcons and Bucks. And then we have the Broncos currently in control of the 7th seed. And then the Dolphins are 8th technically, and the Bengals ninth. So couple huge games. The rest, week 18 sucks when your team's not like I'm lucky that my team is playing for something this week because the rest of the games stink. Like
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
we get the
but
Packers, so that'll be fun. But Jalen Johnson and came out and said, yeah, fuck Green Bay, we're playing, playing for something this week. So we'll see. They got them at the 1 o'clock game. They'll be on Fox. And they'll probably get the B team broadcast because I think Washington and Dallas
yeah,
also play at 1, and that'll probably get the A team. Washington and Green Bay though are
right.
still fighting
Washington
for the
wins.
6 and 7 seed.
There's a
Like
six.
they can
I think
flip.
if
Yep. And then no. Green
Washington
Bay
wins, the
has
rest
to
of six.
lose for them.
Washington wins, they get the 6.
Oh,
Packers
okay.
would stay at 7.
Um,
Like I said, the only one up for grabs is who's going to be the 4 seed.
but probably the biggest game that we haven't talked about in the NFL right now,
Yeah, it's the
Sunday night game. I think
Vikings
they
at
said it's a
Lions.
Sunday night game. Yeah. Yep. It's for the division. It's for the 1 seed. I think the Lions are going to lose. Truthfully, I think the Vikings got it. The reason I think is the Vikings are going to win the North, and it's just going to cause chaos in the whole J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold thing. Not more than it already has, because I was seeing some mock trades today that was like a first, a fourth, next year's
That would be
second for J.J.
insane.
McCarthy, and it's like whoa, yeah. So I mean, they truly got a question. Not that the Lions
Their
aren't good.
defense is just
It's not that I
depleted.
don't have faith in Dan Campbell. They're just so banged up. Yeah, they're so banged up. Their defense barely have played with each other. They need all the reps they can get. They gave up a lot of points to a San Francisco team that had nothing to play for and
Yeah.
was kind of banged
I
up themselves. So
I'm kind of on the other side. I think the Lions, like, hey, we really need to win this game and get a bye and get some guys back. And I think them being at home would help their depleted defense, just the momentum and
yeah,
the excitement. Obviously, home games, home field advantage. That's what you play for. Um,
right. It also helps. I just as much as how I feel about Aiden Hutchinson because he was a Michigan man. Now he's on Lions. I just don't want them to bring him back too early. I feel like they're going to try and push him back
I don't see a
and
world like
hurt him more than
I
help.
think even if they made it to the Super Bowl, that would be far fetched for him to play in that game. That'd be the only game he played in. So playing
Right.
in 2 weeks, I don't see it happening. Like he's not even fully running. Like I wouldn't take the risk. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got the best team you've had ever. Right.
Especially being
Takes.
in the NFL, like being in the
Right.
NFL, high
I
contact
do
sport.
think the game's gonna be a shootout though.
Yeah, I do as well. I mean, we'll see if Brian Flores can coach up a good scheme. Then
Yeah.
But I mean, Jared Goff does well against
Gonna
the
hop
Bills.
into Raw on Netflix. Monday night, the 6th, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you said it or not. I really wasn't. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
we're covering everything here. I mean, it's going to be from baseball to football to hockey to basketball to wrestling to UFC
Uh,
to literally anything you can think of. If it comes up and if
Obviously,
it's a talking
things
point, then we're going to
we're
talk
more
about it.
into, we're gonna talk about more. But like we're huge wrestling, NFL, MLB, NBA, slightly less. But like UFC, stuff like if it's major news, we'll talk about it, or stuff that interests us, we will bring up. Um, so Raw moves to Netflix. They're going back to 3 hours on Monday the 6th, and that
Yep.
is right now they have advertising the following matches and segments. Opening the show, from what I've seen, is Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match for the Ulafala. Um, we want to list these all off, or we want to list them, talk about them, go to the next one.
We'll go. We'll talk as they go. I mean, just keep it brief. I think Roman's going to take it. I think it's going to set up for The Rock to return and do something with Roman towards like the WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania. So I think Roman's going to take
I
the follow.
I agree and disagree at the same time. I think each one of these things has a little thing with it. So I think Roman and Solo, I think we get The Rock during that match or after that match. Um, Obviously, it's going to depend on. I would assume it would be Roman versus The Rock, so he would have to help Solo. I think that's what we get. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's going to be a banger. Uh, Next, we have Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley in a last woman standing match for the Women's World Championship. I think I don't know who's going to win, but I think Becky comes back at the end of the match, and we get a face to face.
Yep, I agree with as well. As much as Rhea is over right now and everyone loves her and stuff, obviously Liv's doing her whole heel run and stuff. I think Liv's gonna keep it. Like I think Liv and Becky, that's who Liv beat for it. I think Liv and
Right.
Becky is what's gonna be
Yeah,
ran back.
I don't disagree with you. I'm kind of torn. Like as much as I like try to think about who I think's going to win, it's just kind of I don't know.
A toss up.
Main event should be the main event. I would assume it'd be the main event. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Just I think we get a bloodbath too. Honestly, I think they're going
I do.
first show on
First
Netflix.
show.
Obviously, they're keeping the same rating, but they've the last even just last 6 months they've had more blood on TV than they had in the last 6 years before that.
Hmm. I think it's especially with Netflix. I mean, the whole reason, yeah, it's for advertisers and stuff, but they wanted to do it so they could show more of the stuff, so they wouldn't get cut off during segments, so they could swear more, so they didn't have to worry about they could, toe the line. Obviously, they still have their younger audience, so we're not going to see Edge
Yeah.
going out there and dick down Lita, but it's definitely going to be more than what it is right now. I really, and me and Zach were talking about this off air. I really think we're going to get like an old fashioned NWO type, storyline. I think that's what they're going to do with it. They've been teasing it. Raw is war. They've been the whole their whole slogan right now is Raw is Netflix. I think something's going to happen where we're going to get like a civil war between the wrestlers.
That takes us to the next match. Drew McIntyre versus Jay Uso. I think like what they're just doing with the card. I think it's stacked. I think it's just going to be bangers. I think if rumors have been swirling about pay per view, PP or PPE, yeah, PLE, PPE,
Yeah.
PLE. I think this is going to be close to the pay per view as possible. I think that match slaps. Um,
Do you think we
I
get
think
a return of anything?
Jay gets
there?
cost the match because I don't know.
I just don't know what they're gonna do storyline.
I say Drew goes over.
I could see Drew just be like it's just being, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They beat the shit out of each other, and Drew keeps getting his heel, and keeps building that. There are so many. I mean, well, obviously the big ticket is
Right.
John Cena beginning his farewell tour, but there are a lot of rumors of like Stone Cold making an appearance, Undertaker making an appearance. Like they're talking about Batista maybe coming in and being announced as the first
The
for
inductee,
the
first inductee for
2025
this
Hall
year.
of Fame. Yeah, so like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's on the table. They're gonna make this as big of a
I
WrestleMania
think
style
the
event
numbers are going
without
to be
calling it
stupid. And we
WrestleMania.
got Travis Scott performing the new opening to Raw.
Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be cool to see. I'm curious to see what they're gonna use, or like if it's gonna be a complete new song, or like I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what that, because I mean the Raw theme song has been so iconic. I mean, if you're really a wrestling fan, you know those are some iconic theme songs throughout the years, and even to now. You know,
Yep.
you know
And
that
then
theme song when you hear it.
McAfee will be
So
back on Raw. Michael Cole and Pat
yep,
will be
Pat McAfee's coming back.
taking it. Uh, there says there will also be a post show on Netflix on the WWE YouTube page hosted by Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett, and Big E. It did get announced tonight that Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental title is being moved off of the show. They don't want it to get lost in the fold, which makes sense. I think it's a smart move by them. Let them main event the week after.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes all the sense. Let him be the first main event title on Raw on Netflix. So it doesn't have to be that
So
show. It can
that
be the next one.
wraps it up with Raw and Netflix. The last topic of today is the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes. A report came out that he narrowed it down to 5, possibly 6 teams. Those teams being the Chicago Cubs, the Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres, New York Yankees, New York Mets, and possibly the San Francisco Giants. They are a fringe team, but they didn't fully close the window on other teams. Um, so a couple things that I saw about Roki is he does not care about the money. He is very, very competitive, and him coming over early instead of waiting 2 years and getting a 300, $400 million contract is he wants to test himself and he wants to be the very best pitcher ever. And that is his main focus. So that kind of toes
Yeah,
into um, his decision. And I like Krieger thinks he's going to be a Dodger. I honestly don't see him being a Dodger. I think he wants to. Obviously, I don't think he wants to be overshadowed either. I think like
right. I can absolutely understand that. And I mean, one of the obviously we're both big Cubs fans, so we're gonna see all Cubs reports and stuff. And one of the things his agent said that like he saw was how Shota did over here, and like that's what he wants to do. He wants to come over and immediately dominate. And I mean, if that's the case, yeah, come to the Cubs, do it. I mean, there was another report that came out that Yu Darvish is saying the Cubs are a perfect
told
fit
him
for
that they're a
him.
perfect fit for him.
You know, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I truly, I obviously want him to be a Cub. It would be awesome if he's a Cub. I just think he's gonna end up being a Dodger because he wants to win. He doesn't care about the money. He wants to win a world. He wants to come over and immediately be impactful. Yeah, they have, Shohei whenever he's going to be able to start throwing. Yeah, they still have um,
Blake
Yamamoto,
Snell, Tyler
and
Glass now.
they have a good pitching staff, but yeah,
Yeah.
he
So
would
here's
not
my
be
thing:
even
is
the
he goes to
top
L.A.
three
He's number
there
6.
immediately.
He's number 5 or 6. He's fighting for that last rotation spot if he doesn't start the season in the minors. You come to a team like the Cubs
Yeah.
or
So
even
I
the
mean, if
Padres
he,
or the Giants, you're in that rotation. They want as
you think he,
day one
you
on
think
the
he's
Cubs.
day one on the Cubs if he
I
comes
think
over?
he's. So here's my thing. I think if he's in Chicago, and when they go to Japan, I think he comes out of the bullpen for one of those 2 games to pitch him, just to pitch. But then I
Just a
think
pitch.
because they're going to have a whole nother week
Yeah.
off, that he'll be that 5th man in the rotation, 4th man in the rotation. That's just my personal opinion. That might be some bias,
Yeah.
but
That, Yeah. I mean, I truthfully hope he does come to the Cubs. I really do. He would be a great addition. It'd round out we did ship Belly and Burns signed to the Diamondbacks, and there's really been nothing going on since then. I mean, little moves here and there, but no big names have gone. They're saying it's going to take all the way to the 16th before some of these guys sign. So, I mean, we're kind of at a dead period in MLB right now. It's all football right now. College basketball is kind of getting started, but even at that, it's all
The
football.
winter meetings are
Full
done,
gears ahead right
so
now. That's usually when the most
yep.
action happens.
Which, I mean, it's not terrible. We've got, I think that's all we got for today's episode.
Yeah, I think, like you said, short, sweet. Not going to go too long. I think one of the main reasons, excuse me, one of the main reasons we stopped doing this was because we were just tired of doing super long episodes and making a script each night. And yeah,
it became a
seem
chore.
like a lot, but kind of gets, yeah. So I think short, sweet, to the point. I think these will be good. I think this is how we're going to roll it. We're both going to start streaming more, doing more content in general, and I mean, MLB's rolling right around the
Pitchers
corner.
and catchers
so.
report in a little over a month. Can't wait for that. You got anything else?
Yep.
All right.
No, I think that's it. Show some likes,
Yep,
subscribe.
like, comment, subscribe.
The deal.
Like I said, this is our first episode on Friday, the 3rd. Next episode will be Tuesday, the 7th. On Tuesday and Friday every week, unless something happens. We'll be very transparent and upfront. Like I said, the occasional extra episode might be a Wednesday or Thursday, might be a Sunday. Just if the Cubs sign Roki, we might get a 5-minute episode on a Monday or a Friday afternoon, or a.
Yep.
So with that being said, again,
happen.
drop a like, comment, subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.